Hey everyone, I have director Joshua Coates on the line with us today. I'm so excited that he's joining us on the show. So we're just going to really quick talk about the new movie, The Iniquity. Real quick, Mr. Coates, if you could just kind of explain to us, give us a little inside look on the actual movie. What is the actual concept of this movie?
Well, first I want to say, Ms. Price, I'm just glad to be here to talk to you and your wonderful staff, and just thank you for having me on your show. Iniquity, the movie Iniquity is basically inspired by the biblical account of David and Bathsheba. It's in the Old Testament and the book of Samuel. But those who are not familiar with that story, basically is about a king, King David, who took the wife of his top general, which would be considered like a best friend or someone that's very loyal to you. Took the wife of his best friend and general and had an affair with her. And then to try to cover up his iniquity or sin, he had the guy murdered. And God had to send the prophet Nathan to confront him about his sin, because he had covered up everything. And in that book, in the story of David, it pretty much shows you that God sees everything. In my story, Iniquity, it was inspired by that story, and I wanted to tackle something that was very relevant in today's society. Especially that goes on in our churches today, and sometimes in our political arenas, and the basic family relationship or commitment to in a relationship, about adultery, about being unfaithful. And I thought this would be a great story to redo and tell for today's times. And Iniquity is really a parallel story. Just like the story of David and Bathsheba, we do have a guy named David who is top of his career. And he made a choice. He made a choice to get involved with a woman he already knew was married. And we watched this character's story, his life just unravel because of the choices he made. And I'm a kind of director, Ms. Price, that I have a church background. I was raised in a church. My father was in entertainment for a very long time, and the creativity was passed down to me, and I kind of mixed my creativity and my ability to do film with my faith. And I like to do stories that can touch people, and not to beat them up. You don't want to beat anybody up and smack them on the head with a Bible. Right. But I want to show them on the big screen how life, because of a wrong choice, if you make a wrong choice, how your life gets out of control. And not only affects you, it affects your family, it affects your friends, it affects your children, it affects everyone. And this is what Iniquity is set out to accomplish.
And I was actually looking at some of the trailer that you guys put together on YouTube, and it looks so captivating. And I believe it is so relevant for this time. As we see a lot of young marriages, there's been an escalation in young marriages in today's time, and you need that because the divorce rate is at its all-time high. So I commend you as a director. If you could tell us, how did you actually get the role of directing this whole the movie? How did that come about?
Well, like I said, I went to school for film. I was very fortunate to have a very strong foundation with church, and my leaders, my spiritual leaders, who are still my spiritual leaders today, pretty much helped raise me and forced me to, not force me, but help cater to me to go to a performing arts high school in Philadelphia, where I learned film, and then I went on to did some college and studied film. But the big thing came from when I interned with a lot of famous celebrities, and I interned with some major producers, and I learned a lot, and I networked. So it was all about me looking for the right project to do my first mainstream film. Now, I've done films prior to this, but they were more like, on a smaller budget, independent films where, I just wanted to, get my feet wet and and understand the process of making a film, but I was just looking for a project to do on the mainstream where I can raise money, find investors, and present a great project for to produce. So basically, I had this story. I had a great friend of mine, Naeem Biggs, who is one of the executive producers for Iniquity. We got together and he took a shot and said, "Listen, I believe in what you're doing. I'm going to give you some money and let's do a film." So I began the casting process, and I was working on another project at the time and trying to get that funded. But this movie Iniquity came, and to be honest with you, Miss Bridget, what I was thinking this movie, I'm just going to do the small little movie, just to say I did a really good film. Put it in my portfolio, and then move on to another project. But God blessed the project, where not only did I get money from the gentleman, and money started coming from everywhere, and the talent got bigger. The producers that I had worked with on major projects prior to that said, "Listen, we'll help you out, we'll help you develop it." And just everything just came together. God just had everything come together. And then now I'm looking at my movie go nationwide on March 25th.
Wow, that is so amazing. So tell us a little bit how you actually were able to pick some of the actors and actresses for this particular movie.
Okay, that's a good one. Well, the movie, like I said, when I was working on another project, I was working with a young lady named Cynthia Housel Rodriguez. She's been in several motion pictures, but never really starred in her own film. And it all started really with her. I had the idea of the David and Bathsheba story, but then because, Cynthia, she was a model and she did some great acting, she really fit the part of the way the Bible described Bathsheba,
Okay.
And even though she's Hispanic, still, it didn't really matter that much, but the fact is that the way the Bible described her being beautiful and, glowing, someone that would be eye-catching, Cynthia had the whole package. So I had an idea. I said, well, let me write this script. I'm going to write it for Cynthia to play it. So when I wrote it, she was down with it. It was her first starring role in the film. And I worked around Cynthia, then we got a couple other producers. We did some casting across Philadelphia. The people turned out. We did some screen tests. And all of a sudden, the cast just started forming in front of our eyes. So it's basically just going through the process of developing the film and the casting process, and then, just choosing who you wanted. And, she chose the guy. I mean, it was kind of hands down with the guy that played David in the movie. His name is Brian Jaslowski. He's a great actor. And he did very well on the screen test with her. And before you know it, I said, well, I think this is our David. I think Brian got it. Brian got the role. Cynthia was already, kind of grandfathered into the role. And we just started building around them, too. And next thing you know, we got a wonderful picture. Yeah.
Now, what is the premiere date, and, where will the movie be available at, locations, and all of that?
Sure. Well, we had a couple. We already had some showings, throughout the United States. We had some showings. Right now, the movie is going to DVD. It's at Walmart. You can go to, it'll be at Walmart nationwide on March 26th, but you can pre-order it now. Like, if you don't want to wait in the line, if you don't want to go to the store to buy it, you can go to walmart.com and type in the word Iniquity, and I'll spell it, because a lot of people, Bridget, they spell it with an E instead of an I. So let me spell it. It's Iniquity. It's Iniquity. Again, that is Iniquity. It's called Iniquity. It's in Walmart nationwide, March 26th, where you can pre-order early today at this moment, on the phone. And Walmart.com. Go to Walmart.com, search Iniquity, or search my name, Director Joshua Coates, and you'll find it. It's not a hard thing to find.
That's so amazing. And lastly, Joshua, are you on Facebook or Twitter, or is there a website for the movie?
Everywhere. Come on, Miss Bridget. I'm everywhere.
Can you go ahead and give our listeners where they can find you? A lot of people, they may have already previewed the movie, and they may want to follow you on Twitter and Facebook.
Sure. I tell you what, we do have some projects coming too that I'm going to be casting for. I have some wonderful. I have a couple TV shows coming in, another catalog of movies that we're going to be working with. But to find me, all you do is go to Google or you go to Bing, B-I-N-G, and type in Director Joshua Coates. It's Director Joshua Coates. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, even though I don't really use that much, but I'm on MySpace.
Okay.
But I'm there. I'm not a hard person to find. I'm under Director Joshua Coates.
Okay, is that on Facebook too, Director Joshua Coates?
That's correct, everywhere. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Yeah.
We have a lot of actors, mostly independent actors, and fairly new in their career. So that's good to know for the listeners, if where to find you and some of your casting calls and things like that. Now, are you out of California?
No, I am in Philadelphia, but I will be traveling to California, Seattle, Miami. I have a lot of places that we're going to be doing motion pictures and movies, but I am from the city of brotherly love in Philadelphia, from my hometown. I pretty much work out of here, but I'll probably be moving very shortly.
Okay.
But Philadelphia is where I'm at.
All right, that's my family hometown. There's a lot of Webbs that live there. I don't know if you know any of the Webbs.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
the Webbs. I look up the Webbs.
Yeah, they're very talented now.
Listen, well, tell the Webbs to look out for me and listen out for me.
I will.
I did do a lot of other, press releases in Philadelphia, so it's good there. But with the help of your show, Bridget, I just thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you.
And supporting the movie Iniquity.
It's such an honor, And what we'll do is we'll we'll put some postings out there on our Twitter feeds and our Facebook of your YouTube link of the movie Iniquity to kind of press that out for you. So thank you so much, though.
Thank you.